Can I let you in on a little secret? The most powerful women I know, the ones building empires, making big moves, enjoying the process, they're all in one place. And you should be too. It's called Insider. We're talking exclusive content from 7 to 8 figure female founders and entrepreneurs, virtual and IRL events, masterclasses, premium video, and my personal favorite, the Pick My Brain series. So are you ready for more conversations just like this one? Join for as little as $6.99 a month at theknowinsider.com.
Welcome to the High Achieving Female Podcast powered by Know, where we believe high achieving female leaders deserve to be known. Here, you're going to get the tips, tools, and inspiration you need to network, grow, scale, and balance your business, career, and life.
Hi, my name is Amy Jackson, and I'm the founder and CEO of TaleSplash, which is a PR agency that helps emerging brands that are making the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. And I have a team of women, many of whom have been in PR for multiple decades, like myself. And we put together custom strategies for different clients we work with across women's health and AI and climate tech and lots of experts in different trades. What I'm going to talk about today is that we have learned a lot about the media landscape really ever since the pandemic. There were already changes underway that happened as a result of less in-person interaction between reporters and the companies that they write about. So much of the interactions between media and brands has become online, and there's some really great innovation that has become the norm in the world of PR. So I'm going to talk about some specific examples today. One of the first things that we've learned is the importance of timely news cycles. And as much as we all want to believe that our brands have such interesting stories and our products are wonderful and so are our services, that's not enough to get a reporter to write about you. So there needs to be a reason that they're writing the story. And by reason, I mean there needs to be a timely hook. So when you think about your products and services, are they relevant to a specific time of year? And if so, then you want to get ahead of those seasons by reaching out to the media within a month or two leading up to that occasion. It used to be that when reporters put together print magazines for the holidays, they would actually put gift guides together for the holidays in the summer for magazines that would run in November and December. Now it's a little bit different because everything is digital, but there's still some longer lead times leading up to the holiday season in particular. But if you have a product or service that's relevant for Mother's Day or summer travel or other things that are happening throughout the year, you want to backtrack at least a couple of months and think about when you begin reaching out to reporters to let them know about your product or service well in advance of that season. So that's really important, just the timing of things. The other factor in the timing of what journalists are writing about is what's in the news cycle. So the same things that you're reading about or you're seeing in social media or you're following in pop culture, those are also news cycles that reporters are going to cover. And so if there's something happening in the news or in pop culture that you have an opinion on, that could be a very timely way to get covered and featured and quoted in an article. That's also a good way to use timing as an opportunity to follow up with journalists that maybe you've reached out to in the past. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out on a regular basis, but you're not just saying, hey, I'm following up. Hey, I'm checking in. Hey, are you interested in writing about me? But rather you're saying, oh, this trend that we're seeing of teens going to Sephora. Well, I actually have an opinion about that, or I have a product that those teens shopping at Sephora would be interested in. So making the connection between your products and services and what is in the news cycle in pop culture on social media will also make your brand more likely to get coverage using a timely hook. So that's really one dynamic that's changed so much really in the last 5 years or so, is just how quickly the news cycle changes. The news cycle is always trying to keep up with what's viral on social media or what's become part of the zeitgeist in pop culture. So really think about that and how you fit in. The other thing is that reporters are getting very clever about sourcing experts and products for their stories. So there's lots of different ways to get on their radar. There are platforms that you can sign up for to get your products offered for free, that they can request to review your products and have them shipped to them. There are platforms where they can request an expert that they need for a very specific story with a short deadline that's, they need a quick set of tips, or they need a response to specific questions and they're writing their story today and they need those answers right away. And that's something that can be really powerful, and it can lead to getting featured in top national media outlets. There's also really clever ways that journalists are using things like Substack newsletters and social media to post a specific need that they have for a story that they're working on. And they often get a lot of responses. So we see this across LinkedIn and X, and also in individual newsletters that some of these journalists are publishing. So there's different ways to engage with reporters when they're looking for you. The other thing that we've seen really become a powerful relationship is between PR and social media. So it used to be that we would say, oh, make sure that when you get coverage, you share it in your social channels, which is still very much the case. And when you do that, if you thank the reporter and you tag the outlet, it's very much appreciated and it goes a long way. But the other relationship is now reporters are paying attention to how many social media followers you have. And sometimes that's a deciding factor if they're going to include you in their story. So it's not that you have to have a certain number of followers to start working with journalists, but if you do have a lot of followers, it's an asset and you should call it out when you're reaching out to them. The other medium that's really grown and also cares about your social following are podcasts. Podcasts just continue to blow us away because how many of podcasts there are for every niche out there. And when you get an interview on a podcast, it's really powerful social content. So you're getting the promotion from the podcast itself, and you're also able to promote the episode on your own social channels. And because it's so visual, oftentimes video is part of the interview. It's very engaging in social media channels. So we love podcasts for that reason. You're getting a lot more reach than just an article because it's such a visual medium. People are seeing your video clips, watching you in action, and they also get more time to hear from you. So it's a 30 to 60-minute conversation in most cases. And so you're really able to build brand trust and educate people about your expertise or your products and services in a way that's much more generous than a quote in an article. But all of these things are important to try and to really learn what's going to be most impactful for you and your brand. So, the other thing I like to say is that PR takes time. It's not just to snap your fingers and make something happen. You can't hire a PR professional just because you think they have relationships with reporters and expect that to turn into a major media outlet wanting to write about you. You have to really put a strategy in place and try things and test things and see what works, and follow the kinds of news cycles that you're relevant for, and see what kind of mediums you like. Are you comfortable on podcasts? Are you better off with written content? And just try different things and continue to learn and do more of what's working. So it's definitely something that can benefit from having a PR professional by your side, but there's absolutely ways that you can try it out yourself. I am always happy to talk about PR. I've been doing it for 20 years and I've seen so much change in the industry that's very exciting. And there's never been a better time to get media coverage as an emerging brand. I'd love to help and tell you more tips and share my knowledge. So you're always welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn, on talesplash.com, and through the Know Women. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the High Achieving Female Podcast, powered by Know, where we believe it's time for high achieving women like you to be seen, heard, and recognized. Until next time, remember, you deserve to be known.